Hello, beautiful friends, and welcome to UntamedHeart Tarot. I am so excited that you're joining me here today, and we're going to be taking a look at your energies for the week of July 25th through July 31st. So I have three piles here in front of me. Pile 1, Pile 2, and Pile 3. And we're just going to take a moment so that you can meditate on the pile and see which one you're being drawn to. Make sure that you are grounding yourself. I suggest square breathing, so breathing in for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, breathing out for 4 counts, and again holding for 4 counts, just to center yourself and really make sure that you're choosing from your inner self. If you need more time, please feel free to pause the video. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, if you picked pile number 1, then this is your reading. We're going to start with your tarot cards, and then we will move on to your oracle cards. So you have the Two of Wands reversed, the Page of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Sun, and the Star. The second half of your reading looks so happy and positive. Okay. So what I'm seeing so far from this reading is that there is a need to go within. Usually the Lovers, definitely, if in traditional tarot, is talking about, relationships, partnerships. They could be romantic relationships, friendships, family members, connections in general. But what I'm seeing here is the relationship with yourself, really. Pretty much what I'm seeing from this side of the reading is that you're feeling a little up in the air, maybe a little bit lost, unsure of exactly what direction it is that you want to go. You can even see with the Two of Wands being reversed here, it looks like she's on the ceiling. It looks like she is up in outer space, floating away, not spending enough time grounding herself, and just not really sure about where it is that she wants to go. And then you have the Page of Pentacles, who is completely rooted into the ground. Grounded. I don't know if you can see this, but there's even like little roots growing out of the foot of this page as they connect with the earth, and they connect with themselves, and they connect with this new idea that's being brought to them. It just grounds them down into the earth even further. So what I'm seeing here is that maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed right now. Maybe you have a new idea that's come in, but you're not really 100% sure how to put it into action. And so you're feeling a little disconnected, and a little bit lifted, a little bit separated, a little bit in prison of your own making. Actually pulled a couple of clarifying cards before we started, and the Eight of Swords came out in reverse, which again leads me to believe that there is some mental struggle happening here that definitely is keeping you from being able to move forward. But with that Eight of Swords in reverse, it makes it very clear that you are capable of releasing yourself from this mental stress, releasing yourself from this feeling of, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go. Definitely want to take that time, actually go out into nature, put your feet into, let me just move this for a second, put your feet into the grass, feel yourself connecting with the earth, quiet your mind. Maybe meditation is something that you used to have as a part of your daily routine, and that maybe you've gotten away from a little bit. It might be time to come back to that. It might be time to come back to the back to that routine, quieting your mind and grounding yourself down so that you can start to feel yourself settle. Because once you make the decision that is bringing you a little bit of frustration, everything is going to start getting positive for you. Everything's going to start opening up to you. I mean, look at these two beings. They're both grounded very firmly into the earth, but their hearts are open, and that is connecting them to their higher selves. You have the happiest card in the deck here, along with a card that means hope, prosperity. I'm hearing prosperity. And maybe this has to do with a new business idea. Maybe this has to do with a new financial situation, because the clarifying card that came out for that one is the King of Pentacles, the King of Discs. So right now you might be living in this space of anxiety, keeping yourself stuck in the same location because you can't make the decision, because you're not grounding yourself, you're not focusing in, you're not feeding your inner self, you're not connecting with yourself and spirit. And the moment that you're able to do that, the moment you're able to ground yourself but stay connected with your higher self, ground yourself in the earth but stay connected with your higher self, then you'll start to call in and pull in all of these promises, all of this prosperity. Even here, the King of Pentacles, he's not wearing any shoes. His feet are firmly planted directly into the earth. He is grounded, but he has also got, you know, antlers, this crown reaching up to the sky. Let me see if I can get a better shot of that. There we go. Oh. There we go. See how his crown is reaching up towards the sun, but his feet are firmly planted onto the ground. And he's barefoot in the grass. He's connecting with the earth. I definitely feel like that is something that is being repeated here for you. None of the people except for this page here have shoes on. Everybody on this side, they're barefoot and their feet are directly planted into the grass, into the ground. This is definitely a call for you to get back into nature. It's time to get back into your spiritual practices, back into grounding yourself and removing yourself from too much thinking, too much overthinking, too much in your own mind. It's time to pull yourself back. Okay, so let's take a look at some of your oracle cards. We'll start here. We have imbalance, and I think that definitely speaks to what we were just talking about, of needing to, yeah, I think especially here with the Sun card and the Star, they're in balance. They have their feet firmly planted on the ground, but they definitely are still connecting to their higher selves. So you want to balance that overthinking mind that may be acting a little bit too hastily right now, that might be unable to focus on how to move forward because it's too busy thinking about what's happening on Instagram and what's happening, you know, over here at my job that's, you know, taking all of my time, so I can't really focus myself back in, and what's going on with these friends and what's happening on this TV show. You know, it's time to pull yourself back in, to ground yourself again, get out of your too much happening in your head and quiet your mind. Okay. Next we have, we have spiritual teacher. You are being guided to step into your role as a spiritual teacher. Interesting. Maybe some of you are trying to decide if it's time to leave corporate America or leave, you know, the corporate environment, depending on where you're located, and step into your space as a spiritual leader, a spiritual teacher. Or maybe this is something that you've always done. Like maybe you're that friend that everybody comes to and they want to talk to you, talk through their problems with you, excuse me. And every time it happens, you start to feel invigorated. You're starting to notice that you get more joy from helping others deal with things that maybe you've been through before. Helping other people work their way through a situation that you ran into and it almost knocked you down, but you were like, no, I got this, I made it through, and I can help you get through it too. And maybe that when you have those conversations, it kind of lights you up a little bit inside, and you're starting to notice that maybe that's an area you're being guided to. And if you were looking for the sign, or looking for a sign, this is it. This is your sign. That this is your time. You're being called to a higher purpose. And the question is, are you going to answer the call? It's entirely up to you. But it's definitely something that if you start to work through your day and you're noticing that these are the things that are bringing you more joy, these are the areas where you're starting to, you feel your skin vibrate and you start to feel like, I'm getting goosebumps right now. If you are like having a moment and you start to feel your body reacting to that type of engagement, that type of connection, you start to see, oh, this old behavior, these old conversations, they're not serving me anymore, but this new conversation where I'm helping to guide this person through this rough time that they're having, or help them by, maybe you start to get intuitive hits where you're just like, oh, I don't think that you should be doing that, take it for what it's worth, but like there's something telling me like, maybe don't go to that party tonight, or don't go out to that event tonight, maybe, and you're sharing these things with people and really allowing yourself to connect to your intuition and help others. Like really start to notice those moments, really start to lean into those moments. That's something that could be coming up for you this week. So keep your eyes open for those moments. People could be coming into you or coming in to talk to you about something. And like I said, you want to start, grounding yourself so that you can be level-headed enough to help them should that moment come. Okay. Next, we have be still. Absolutely. Where can you find moments of stillness this week? Like I mentioned before, maybe you had a meditation practice that you focused on, every week or so, or I'm sorry, every morning. Maybe you took some time to meditate, to, just have a moment of quiet and sit with your thoughts. And maybe that practice has gotten away from you now. And it's time to be recalled back to that. I think it's amazing that this card is actually here. On this side, I'm starting to notice, I'm sorry, that there's like lots of muted colors and things happening here on this side. And then as soon as you get over here, it gets really vibrant and really exciting and really, beautiful. And I'm personally I connect a little bit more to this side because it's just so visually beautiful. Like this side is very calm, and that's okay. Because you do have to work from one side to the other. You do have to start to focus and ground yourself so that you can, like a star or like the sun, just, live in your glory. So how can you do that this week? How can you bring yourself some moments of stillness? Maybe it won't happen every day, but is there a way that you can put a practice in place to, maybe put a reminder on your phone to stop and take 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds to just quiet your mind? I will continue to bring up square breathing because I think it is one of the quickest and easiest ways to be able to center and calm yourself. I just saw 1333 on the timer. So I don't know if 333 is a number for anyone, but confirmation for me. And then finally we have, I forget all past experiences. I accept all that I have created for myself, my past and my present. I am willing to allow my future to happen. How are you holding yourself back? How are you keeping yourself stagnant instead of moving forward? Are you keeping yourself in this prison of your own making mentally? Keeping yourself distracted so you're not being grounded? Keeping yourself from this beautiful, open, solid foundation future that you have in front of you? Where are the moments where you can bring it back in? How can you ground yourself? How can you direct yourself back to your sense of peace, where you have your feet firmly planted on the ground, but you are still connected to your higher self? Okay. That's all that I have for you today, Pile 1. I thank you so much for joining me today. If you connected with this message, if you resonated with this message, then I ask that you leave a comment down below, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share with your friends. It does help my channel grow as much as possible, and then I am able to continue to bring you these messages. And again, thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Alright, if you chose pile number 2, then this is your reading for the week of July 25th through July 31st. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with your tarot cards, and then we'll move into your oracle cards. So the cards picked for you are Page of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the King of Swords, and the Hierophant. So immediately what I was hearing when I was originally shuffling for your cards was giving too much of yourself. Giving too much of yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and start here on this side of your reading. You have the Page of Wands here with the Queen of Cups. Both of these characters look like they're kind of giving up. So you have the Page of Wands, who's literally throwing her wand up into the air. Right now it's completely out of her control. She's just kind of like tossed it around. She's flinging herself around. She's losing herself in the joy of the moment, which is not a bad thing. But when I look at it here with this Queen of Cups, the Queen of Emotions, it kind of reads to me as throwing something away in frustration because of being overwhelmed by the emotions of the situation. So maybe this week we want to just, maybe you've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed to begin with, and this week is just kind of really bringing that into your world on a more intense basis. Maybe your emotions are getting a little bit too heavy. I mean, we did just come out of Cancer season. It's finally Leo season, thank goodness, because it was getting to me a little bit too. Maybe it's just been a little bit too much of this overwhelming emotional feeling that's been happening for you recently, and because of that you've started to disconnect and you've started to overindulge, which makes sense here with the Nine of Pentacles, because this is about luxury. This is about, harvest after all of the hard work that you've put in. But with it being here in reverse, I'm getting that maybe you did a little bit too much indulgence, too much luxury, too much disconnecting, and it's time to come back. But that's okay, because you have these two guys over here. You've got this coolness from the King of Swords. He's in control of his thoughts. He's in control of his words. He has no problem speaking up and saying what needs to be said. and he's feeling, you know, in control of this moment. And finally you have the Hierophant over here who is just smiling with laughter. I mean, look at his expression. He just looks like he's having the absolute best time, laughing in the face of anybody who might be trying to get the best of him. Sitting there so calm and collected, grounded, centered. I feel like grounding this week is going to be a pretty big theme because pile 1 got a big talking to about needing to ground themselves. So that's the main message that I'm seeing here. And I did pull a clarifying card for both sides. So over here we have the Devil. Let's see if we can get that to focus. So like I said, maybe you've been overindulging a little bit too much. Maybe you've let yourself have a little bit too much extra fun to disconnect from the fact that you're feeling overwhelmed and like there's too many people who are like in your space and too many emotions coming in that you don't know who they belong to. They aren't yours. You know, maybe you're an empathic group that's been dealing with a lot of this, the heaviness of Cancer season. Now finally having a little bit of a break from that. And then we have the Princess of Swords or the Page of Swords here for you. Clarifying once again this side of your reading. Really leaning into the fact that, you know, once you put in a little bit of the work, now that you've settled down, now that the emotions don't feel quite so heavy this week, you'll be able to move into this sureness, move into this solidness. There'll be new ideas coming in for you when maybe you weren't having any ideas coming in for you before. Now you'll have a lot of ideas coming in for you. You'll be more sure-footed. You'll have more clarity of mind coming in for you. That's what I'm seeing. And just like this ability to just really let go. You'll have your solid, your feet will be back underneath you. Like your sea legs are gone, your feet are back underneath you, and you're definitely feeling calm, cool, and collected. Okay, let's take a look at your oracle cards. Okay, first we have Nourish the Sacred Feminine. Nourish the Sacred Feminine. The Sacred Feminine is all about, you know, I don't chase, I attract. It's that feminine energy, and this is not talking about, you know, woman or man. It's talking about energy. So we all have masculine and feminine energy, and sometimes we live a little bit too much in our masculine energy, or we live a little bit too much in our feminine energy, and we want to make sure that we find that balance. Now, I do feel like this section here, maybe you were a little too heavily in your feminine energy before, and it was just leaving you feeling frazzled. So now it's time to nourish that feminine energy, nourish that sacred feminine, and really find your center in your balance. And by bringing in a little bit more masculine energy, and we see that here with this King of Swords, maybe bringing in a little bit more of that calmness, that sureness, that confidence will help to balance out that sacred feminine, balance out that feminine energy, and bring you back into alignment. A good thing to ask yourself is, you know, what do you tend to favor? Do you work with a plan? Do you work from a place of logic, or do you work from a place of intuition? How can you connect them and work from both? joining those together this week, I think, will be really important from you. Not just working from a logical standpoint when it comes to a specific thing that you need to focus on or work through, but really joining your feminine and your masculine, working from a place of intuition and making a good plan. Okay, let's take a look at these next two. You actually are the only pile who pulled two of these oracle cards. So first we have empath. There we go. We have empath. You may be confusing other people's energy with your own, which is extremely possible, especially if you were feeling a little overwhelmed in the last few, at the beginning of this week. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed, check in with yourself. Ask, are these emotions my own? Is this my own feeling? Is this coming from me, or am I taking on somebody else's experience? And then if you start to realize that you are taking on someone else's experience, someone else's emotions, someone else's feelings, then it would be a good idea to, take some time and really cleanse your aura, which is exactly what we get here from the next card. Oh goodness. Auric field. It is time to call in energy protection to shield, clear, and strengthen your aura. So yeah, like I was saying, if you're starting to notice that a lot of the emotions and feelings that you're holding on to don't seem to be your own, that you're kind of picking up other people's energy, then maybe it's time to cleanse your aura. And you can, there's lots of different options out there. You can do a cord cutting ceremony. You can call your power back. I can link a couple of a couple of creators who've listed some of these things in the description box below for you to check out, just in case you need some guidance on how exactly to do that, how to call back your power, how to call back your energy that may have been pulled away from you by a situation or a person that is not working towards your benefit. So that's definitely something that you'll want to be aware of and keep in mind for this week. And then we have worlds within worlds. And again, what I'm feeling from this card is just, it's time to reconnect with yourself. You know what's best for yourself. You know if you've been overindulging, if you've been trying to disconnect from all of the excessive emotions that you've been feeling. You know what that is. You absolutely know that that's been happening, and that's why you disconnected and why you overindulged for a little bit. Maybe you started drinking a little bit too much. I know we've all been there, especially with this past year and everything that's been going on with the panini out there. And maybe now it's time for you to come back in, check back in with yourself, reconnect with your inner self, and really figure out what's the next step. Where are the behaviors that have been not serving me, and how can I get back into my confidence and back into my balanced, nourished self so that I can live the best life for me? Because another thing, if you are an empathic person, if you're out of balance, then you're more likely to pick up someone else's negative energy. You're more likely to be at the whim of the energetic fields around you. So you need to center yourself and be with yourself so that you can make sure that you are healthy, that your emotions are your own, and that you're remaining in a balanced state. Okay, and finally, I live and work in comfort and ease and beauty. It's beautiful. My home is a reflection of me. Oh, there we go. My home is a reflection of me, and I choose to make it a wonderful place to live. Now, that can be talking about your actual physical home. It could be talking about your physical body. Maybe you need to start moving around a little bit more, which also makes sense here with cleansing your auric field, because physical movement, exercise, you know, eating a healthy diet, that also helps to cleanse your auric field. It's not just, you know, rituals and things like that. It's also making sure to take care of your earthly body, making sure that you're feeding it properly, keeping hydrated, that your body is moving. So this could be talking about your physical home. Yes, maybe you need to do a cleanse in your home. Maybe there's some negative energy that's gotten stuck in there. Maybe it's time to, you know, make sure that just like you have spring cleaning, maybe it's time to do a little summer cleaning too. Get everything out that doesn't need to be there anymore, and really connect, make sure that it's a safe and comfortable environment for yourself, so that you can get this confidence back, so that you can get back to this state of this smiling, happy Hierophant who's just like, nothing is gonna like get me down. Look at, I have the stairway to heaven. I have the stairway to happiness. It's right next to me. And I'm going to climb it in a second. But right now I'm just enjoying this beautifully grounded, happy moment now that I'm released of all of this negative energy that's been clinging to me. So really take some time this week. Focus on yourself. Focus on keeping yourself healthy. Focus on clearing out any negative energies that might be hanging around you. And yeah. Okay, I think that's your reading. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, then please make sure to leave a comment down below, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. I will be posting every Sunday and most Wednesdays. Every Sunday will be your weekly energy update, and then a different video every Wednesday. If you feel moved to do so, please feel free to share this video. That does help my channel grow, and that way I'll be able to bring you more and more content as time goes on. So again, I really hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will be moving on to group number 3. All right, if you chose pile number 3, this is your reading for July 25th through July 31st. We're going to start with your tarot cards. Okay, and we have, starting out, the King of Cups, the Chariot in reverse, the Hanged Man at the center of your reading, the Devil in reverse, and Judgment in reverse. Okay, so this week I feel like you are being called to take a moment and reflect. Obviously we see that here with the Hanged Man, that this is going to be a moment of, there may not be a whole lot happening for you this week externally, but I really do feel like there's going to be a lot happening for you internally. With these 2 cards being here, I feel like there is, you need to confront your emotions. There's definitely been some disconnecting from the emotions because maybe they're too heavy to handle, maybe they're too big to deal with, maybe they're, you know, I don't know what to do with this, so I'm just not going to deal with it, and it's slowing you down. It's keeping you from leveling up. It's keeping you from moving forward. You're not making a choice, so you just have to, so you're not making a choice, so you're being stuck. And it's time to face those emotions. It's time to master those emotions. It's time to work through those emotions. Put them on the ship right here and send it out to sea. Work through it and move through it. That's what you're being asked to do today. And as you work through that, as you work through those emotions, as you deal with the things that are in front of you, it will start to remove you from some of the shackles that have been keeping you tied down, some of the things that you haven't been able to figure out exactly why this is bothering you, why this is getting to you, why this is such a stumbling block for you. It's because you're pushing away the emotion and you aren't working through the emotion. And so it's been keeping you locked up. Look at here, when the Devil is in the upright, it has these puppet strings for this figure down here. See, he's controlling this figure with these puppet strings. But the moment that you're able to take charge and take advantage, or not advantage, but take charge in your own life, then those strings can't really do much. They essentially get cut and you become free. You move out of that area, out of that toxic space that you were in before, and you move into this moment of enlightenment. You move into this moment of freedom, which we kind of see with Judgment here in reverse again. Like, again, this is self-reflection. When it's in reverse like this, it's self-reflection, asking you to get quiet and meditate. See where it is that you're feeling these chains so that you can get free from them, so that you can break out of those old cycles, break out of those old soul-sucking toxic behaviors that you may have for yourself. Also, this is potentially, you know, the universe trying to get your attention as well, trying to reach out to you, trying to make sure that you don't lose yourself. Sorry about that, guys. My battery died, so I had to get that adjusted. As I was saying, your Spirit is reaching out to you. Spirit is trying to connect with you, maybe sending you signs of some kind. Maybe you've been in your own way looking for some answers that you desperately feel like you're needing. And hopefully you'll start finding some this week. Okay, so I did pull a clarifying card for each of these sides as well, and you have the Star here and the Seven of Swords here. Yeah, and again, like, this is really just opening up to me even more the fact, like, look at all of this moving water. It's time to move through any emotions that you may have been avoiding. And then that's going to definitely move you into a more hopeful state of being, a more open state of being, the ability to freely flow through your emotions instead of letting them take you away in the current. See, with the Star, she has 1 foot on the ground and 1 foot on the water. So she's keeping herself grounded, but she's still connecting to those emotions. The water flowing through one cup and into the other. So she's flowing through her emotions. She's keeping her emotions in check without letting them take over her, but she's not staying stagnant. She's staying in flow. There we go. She's staying in flow. She's making sure to work with her emotions, not against them. She is then able to get the energy moving to really get to this side of the reading. So it's a moment of suspension. You have the Hangman. You're taking some time to pause, to work through these emotions, possibly at the beginning of the week. Maybe throughout the entirety of the week, because, hey, some of these emotions are really, really big. So you're working through all of these emotions, getting yourself unstuck, getting yourself moving again, so that you can figure out what toxic behaviors do I need to get rid of? What is Spirit trying to tell me? And then here with the Seven of Swords, what strategic plan can I make? Normally this card is about, you know, someone stealing from you, maybe somebody not being truthful or honest or anything like that. How are you not being honest with yourself? How about that? Are there areas where you haven't been completely honest with how you're holding yourself back? It's time to look into that this week. It's time to open up those doors this week and, like, really work through those emotional sticking points that you might be dealing with, but also making a plan for the future, because the Seven of Swords is also about strategic planning. So how else can you make plans to move through these emotions and get to that next space? Obviously, yes, you want to sit with your emotions, feel through them. Toxic positivity is not something that I endorse, nor is it something that I will ever tell you to do. Feel your emotions. Feel through your emotions. Acknowledge them. They are there to show you something so that you can learn more about yourself, so that you can grow deeper connected with yourself. Because you are the only one that you will have, like, you're the only relationship you will have for your entire life. And you need to really understand it so that you can stay in balance and stay true to yourself. Okay, let's go to your oracle cards. Overthinking can spoil the magic. Here we go. Overthinking can spoil the magic. So I would imagine, or what I'm hearing with that is, feel through your emotions, like deal with your emotions, but don't get trapped in your mind. Don't get trapped in your head. Because a lot of times it can take you down the rabbit hole. That's what I like to call it. Where you're just like, oh, well, this person reacted to me this way, and so now they hate me, and why do they hate me, and everybody hates me. Like, it can take you down the rabbit hole. And then you can start to get into those feelings of avoidance and get into those feelings of toxicity. And those are things that you definitely want to avoid. So sit with your emotions, feel through the emotions, thank them, and then release them. Acknowledge them, thank them for coming in, and then let them go. Okay, what do we have next? We have angel numbers. Ooh. Pay attention to the signs. Your angels are trying to deliver a message. Wow, look at that. That connects really, really nicely with the Judgment card over here. With the Judgment in reverse, also talks about how, you know, the universe can be trying to send you a message that it's time to level up. It's time to let go of these toxic behaviors so that you can move to the next level. That it's time for you to release any of these things that are keeping you blocked. These feelings of, you know, somebody else hurt me, so I can't, you know, I can't make it because that, you know, those victim mentalities. Now, there are definitely some moments where, you know, people can take advantage of you and they can leave a bad taste in your mouth, but it's your responsibility to work through those moments. It's your responsibility to do as much healing of yourself as you can. And, you know, watch for the signs, watch for the synchronicities. Maybe it's, you know, the time on the clock. I can't tell you how many times in this last couple of weeks I've seen 11:11, followed by 11:22, 11:33, 11:55. I keep seeing it repeatedly. The number 4 has also come up for me time and time again in the past couple of days. So when the universe is trying to get to you, when the universe is trying to talk to you, when spirit has a message for you, you'll start to see these synchronicities. So keep your eyes open this week. Keep your eyes open and start to notice the synchronicities. Don't get obsessed with them. Just notice them. Maybe keep track of them. If you see 11:11 on your phone, or 222 on your phone, or 333 on your phone, take a screenshot just so you can remember. And then, you know, go back and look and think about, you know, notice, what was I doing during that time? Like, what was I thinking about? What was I putting in action, or what discovery had I made? And then start to notice the connection there so that you can, you know, hear the message and start to really understand the message that spirit and universe, whatever it is that you like to call it, God, spirit, universe, source, is trying to get through to you. Emotions. Yeah, definitely. Emotions. Feel those emotions. Like the King of Cups over here. He doesn't push his emotions away. Look at him. He is sitting there. He's got his finger in the water, like, you know, not messing, but like stirring in the water. There we go. He's connecting. He's opening his heart center. Look at how the light is radiating from his heart chakra. He's letting his emotions flow. He is the one who is in control of them. They are not in control of him. And he is giving himself the safe space to feel through his emotions, to feel all of the feelings that need to be processed, and to work through them and instead of letting them control him. So take that time. If you need to have a cry day, like if you need to lock yourself in the bathroom and just cry it out, then do it. If you need to watch a sad movie to make yourself cry, to get through something because it's compartmentalized in a way that you don't know how else to access it, then do that. If that's what you need to do for yourself, then just do whatever you have to get those emotions out, so that they can move through you and process, instead of being stuck like a blockage in your stomach, keeping you from being able to get to the next place. And finally, there we go. I am centered in truth and peace. The universe is one of great order and peacefulness, and I reflect this in every moment of my life. Yeah. So once you center yourself in like work through your emotions, center yourself in the knowledge that the universe is there to support you. The universe is there to take care of you. When you start to feel those moments of resistance, those are the moments that we create for ourselves. Those are the hurdles that we put in place for ourselves. Those are the spaces where we start to, in our humanness, put limitations on what the divine, what God, what spirit, what universe can do. So we put those dams up. And instead of letting all of the energy flow like it's supposed to, and let the universe support us in a way that it wants to, and let it, get the motion of our life force moving in an orderly and peaceful manner, we put a limitation up, we put a wall up, we build a dam here, and we put a blockage there, and suddenly things aren't flowing like they're supposed to. So this week I urge you to work through your emotions. Feel through all of your feelings. Where are you feeling stuck? Where are you feeling like, I don't want to face that right now? And I ask you to step into it, lean into it. Understand that once you feel through it, thank it, and it will move on. It's not going to be forever. And the universe will support you. All right, pile 3, that's all that I'm hearing for you today. If this reading resonated with you at all, then I ask that you leave a comment down below. Let me know which group you picked, and give the video a like and the channel a subscribe, and share with all of your friends and family, because that helps my channel grow and it helps me be able to make more content for you. I will be posting your weekly energy update every Sunday, and also an additional video every Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. Make sure your notifications are on, and thank you again for joining me here today. Have a wonderful week.